Hello, everybody. This is the Lord of the Zombies speaking. That's right, everybody. Welcome back to another video. And it is I, the Lord of the Zombies speaking. And before this video can begin and proceed, by the way, folks, ladies and gentlemen, it will be time, and officially time, that the zombies are going to be mentioned in their top 5 favorites of their top 5 NFL teams that you guys are about to see in the thumbnail or in the screen that you guys are about to see. And yes, it's the same check marks and X marks, and of course, however, with the same green and red between with like, oh, the ones that will probably be like something that will automatically be like best versus worst. I'm referring to like the team that remained pretty much like top 1, and then the other team remained at top 5. So if you guys are about to see an interesting reveal here and now of today that you guys are about to see here on like pretty much on the top 5 of their favorites of the zombies' favorites, well, hope that you guys are excited to see that, and hopefully you guys will definitely get to see it otherwise and definitely watch it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to do so is give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified so way that you don't miss a single video that comes straight into this channel. Thanks, and thank you. Anyway, this being said, it is time, like I said, we're about to officially start with pretty much like the main favorites of the zombies' favorites of top 1 all the way to top 5, which means we're going to definitely do top 5 anyway. So this being said, let's do this. Here we go. Hopefully you enjoy this. Let's do it here and now in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Enjoy the video. So, anyways, before anybody asks, here it is. Top 1 of 5 is known to be the Chicago/Indiana Bears, which it'll still be called Indiana Bears before like I don't know, some interesting reveals somewhere like further away, like the 2030s or something, where the Bears might move to Indiana, but I really don't know again, but all I have to say is like, if the zombies think it's pretty interesting, then hey, I mean, it's fine either way. It just doesn't matter though. I mean, just either way, whatever happens, we pretty much don't know anyway, but we'll see what happens in the 2030s. We'll just kind of see what happens in that time of the year of that, I guess. But all I have to say is we're just got to find out and see what happens. Either way, we just have to see what happens. But anyway, the main reason why Zomboss and Head Zombie and the other zombies like the Chicago Bears, or it'll eventually be turned into Indiana Bears, which I think that'll probably be another improvement of interesting. So before we do say that, by the way, before we do so exactly is the main question at hand, and the full-on question at the hand, by the way. Before I say anything, is that I think the reason why they like the Bears is because I think the Bears were like a kind of a better team and an expected team that did pretty well last year. And I have to say, damn, thank you for those Bears to beat the damn Packers, because I mean, finally, for once, by the way, we pretty much can all say is thank the Lord, bro. Just thank the freaking Lord. I mean, as myself as the Lord of the Zombies, technically a Seahawks/Texan fan, I can definitely respect that. And I can definitely 100% respect that for the Bears to beat the freaking Packers away, which that was even a better idea. And I'd say very well performance. I like it. And I think it was a pretty good job. So, hey, that was a very interesting, unique, good job. It was like a very good job for the Bears to do that. And I'm pretty proud of them to do. So, that's pretty much what I'd say by now. That's probably what I would say in that response by saying is like, thank freaking goodness. Like, literally, thank God. Like, seriously, thank freaking God already. But, anyways, the only thing I would want to go out and point here exactly is that, yes, the only thing that remains true is that the zombies will always like the pretty much the Bears, no matter if they're going to still remain being Chicago or they'll pretty much be the new Indiana Bears, which that's pretty much what all kind of expecting in the 2030s. Then we're going to kind of see yet forward on exactly into another stadium, which I'm just saying, not going to lie, the other new stadium is like a very interesting thing to see from the water, which is like a very interesting idea, and I'd say is like, yeah, I like that idea. I kind of like consistent likely that like the idea because I mean the idea with the water, by the way, outside from the stadium is just like a very good touch. It's like a very nice, interesting touch. You know, pretty much how the touch is pretty interesting. So yeah, I'd say it's a very complex of an interesting touch out there. It's like a very good idea, Indiana, but it's like a very constant good idea. So I'd say, why not? I mean, why not? I kind of be looking forward to that. So I'd say is why not? So, anyways, let's get back to straight to the topic anyway. So, yes, the only thing I'd say that the zombies and of course Zomboss and Head Zombie will like the Bears pretty much forever, and that's their main favorite number one team. That their top first favorite team would definitely be the Bears, or should I say slash Indiana Bears slash Chicago, but blah 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 blah, whatever exactly. But you guys gotta kind of heard it from me exactly. But anywho, let's go right on ahead and get to the next one, shall we? Here it is. Top two of number five that we're about to get started on their favorite secondary team, which we're gonna kind of get started on their main second favorite, is about to start right now. So here it is in three, two, one, zero. Yep. So the same question I'd say here it is on top two of number five, or should I say top two of five? So here it is. So with the next one, we're definitely going to hop on to exactly, lads, that we're going to hop right on to is, of course, that we're going to do is number two of five, which means top two of five here, by the way, is that guess what? The secondary favorite that the zombies like, by the way, that their secondary favorite would definitely be considering is be Denver Broncos. Now, in this question, why do they like the Denver Broncos? Well, from their own reason, by the way, to kind of explain the why question is why do they like the Denver Broncos is because the zombies, on the other hand, actually think that the Denver Broncos were really doing an alright job to kind of get near past to the Patriots, but unfortunately, New England Patriots just got to whip their behinds and beat them in the end, which was a very not so good satisfying in the end. So that's why the zombies had to pretty much root for the Broncos to be their secondary favorite, if so called pretty much their main first favorites were out of the whole freaking game. That's pretty much why they would consider rooting for is no than any other would have to be is the Denver Broncos. So that's probably why, in amount of the reason, is that yes, amount of reasons, that's pretty much correct. And that is, once again, as always, pretty much correct. So it's pretty much interesting to see the zombies liking another secondary favorite team that would absolutely be the Denver Broncos, but even pretty highly interesting of a case. But, something interesting like that, that is pretty interesting and unique. So probably why I'd say that. But anyway, for now exactly, if you guys do enjoy pretty much the top five session of most of all of that exactly, then please be sure to give this video a like and comment, and also absolutely to definitely subscribe so you won't miss a single video that comes straight into this channel. And also just want to let you guys know, in fact, by the way, is I will say is this, of course, is that I'll say is this, that, well, we're pretty much not very close just yet by actually revealing the next part that will definitely be so-called likely to be is, well, I think to say in most regard exactly in this question is no than any other that I would say and would have said, by the way, is I pretty much would exactly would say this question, by the way, is that, all I'll be honest, by the way, is that, in the very last number, that would be number five, would consider being their last favorite exactly. I'm not referring to Broncos. I'm referring to like one last team, by the way, that would be considered being on their last five exactly. And that's when that entire likely would make more sense. So, if you guys like the idea of pretty much the zombies, a secondary favorite team would definitely be the Denver Broncos, then that's probably what their secondary favorite team would be. So, anyway, let's go right ahead and jump right along to the next question. That would be top three of top five by any chance. That I'll say is, well, who knows exactly what really could happen on the next number, but of course we're gonna have to find out and see eventually to see what happens with the number three team, or should I say number third exactly. That'll probably be coming right up soon. So here it is, about this second, starting about right about this second. Here we go in three, two, one, and here it is. All right, so looks like the next reveal, by the way, is here it is. Top three of top five. So, in this question, that would so likely to be, and likely to be, of course, that, well, the only thing I'll actually say already is here is the next reveal that we have right now. That the next reveal I will say today, right here exactly, of course, that I'm going to mention of course, I'll say is this answer out loud. So here it is the answer. So the answer I'm about to say is that the only team that is definitely revealed in this next answer is that the Zombies' main third team favorite is Houston Texans. Because I mean, why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the reason why they even picked the third favorite team would definitely be Houston Texans is because I think to say in most other reasons is because I think the Zombies kind of liked it, by the way, when pretty much Houston already won that time already and just did the same thing, but, in a different, better category, in a different way, exactly when they kind of like the Texans win in a different category, which was like a pretty good legendary win, a little bit in the playoffs a couple times, but in twice in a row of two times is like very well respected and impressive so far. It's like very impressive. It's like just very again absolute top notch interesting. Like it's very once as always pretty interesting. So that is probably why, and I'd say exactly that's pretty much why I'd say to the quest already. And frankly, so that is pretty much exactly what I would say already and recommended saying. So that's all I can say right now. So as of right now, that's pretty much their third favorite team is definitely the Zombies' third favorite is Houston Texans, which that is pretty interesting. That is like very well interesting. So yeah, very once again, likely as always, pretty interesting if I'd say so myself is a very interesting move and a very quite an impressive move I might have ever seen and yet seen before. But something cool, like I said, very well done and very, like I said, totally well done. So, anyway, that's all I have to say. And that's all I have to recommend saying on the third part exactly of like the Zombies' third favorite team is the Houston Texans. So, here comes number four. And we're about to kind of almost end the video, by the way, with two more top numbers are left, that we have is 4 and 5 left exactly. And finally, that yes, there is going to be a reveal, by the way, that there is going to be a revealing somewhere in the next video, by the way, that there will be a top 10 favorites of the Zombies' favorite top 10 to be mentioned on the favorite teams part. So that's what I can say, and that's what I can definitely answer right now. So if you guys are looking forward to see the Zombies' top 10 favorite NFL teams, by the way, which is going to be the same thing as from the first to five, but pretty much with like five more other teams exactly being included. So that's what I can say, being included to be extra in 10. So that's all I can be saying exactly and have the answer correct. So that being said, let's continue on with the next part of it exactly and see what next one's going to be. So as of now, here we go in three, two, one, and here we go, folks. Here we go. And let's get on to number four, exactly our top four, all the way to the top five. So here it is, everybody. Let's go. Let's do it. And let's do it about right about now. Alrighty then, here it is. So, the next one we have, by the way, is top four of number five. We have is the Seattle Seahawks. That's right. That is definitely my main favorite, by the way. Known as myself to be the Lord of the Zombies' favorite team, by the way, which is definitely my favorite team exactly. So, before we do hop right on into top four of five, of course, is that before we do that, is that yes, the true thing is that I am a fan of like the Seattle Seahawks, like the main favorite of exactly to like the Seahawks, because the reason why I'd say I like them is because I think that the Seahawks, by the way, are a very amazing team. And I'd say this in my entire lifetime that I never seen a team won basically about like, oh, they've kind of won like the second time before they won the second time, actually being in the Super Bowl and won fairly and beat the Patriots for good of New England, which was pretty interesting, insane out there, which was like, thank God. Like, the zombies were actually rooting for the Seahawks to win this because, they knew that I actually liked the Seahawks, so that's why they kind of rooted for them. So, you know, in full respect and full tribute respect, is that I was like, damn, thank you for the zombies to root for my favorite team, which, that is a very cool, realistic, amazing way I would ever said, which I'm like, wow, that actually was very well respectedly interesting for the only time's sake exactly, which was like, dang, very, and I mean very interesting. So all I can say, by the way, folks, that, it was definitely about time that I'd say it was like, "Nice, thank you," and I'm like, "Thank you," and thank goodness that I'm like, yeah, it was about time that, it was about time that the zombies were actually liking the, Seahawks, by the way, which was a pretty interesting look for the zombies to say is like, to see me happy to win the second Super Bowl, or should I say the Seahawks did, that's still cluing to be my favorite team and all, but in very good respect, I'm like, let's freaking go, bro. Like, let's just freaking go. But yeah, to be for real, y'all, I have to say is that, the most interesting way I can ever say was like, yeah, that was pretty interesting. So, for those again who do or don't know, then that's pretty much my main favorite team. And considering the fact that it is true to say in full regard that it is true that it is my favorite team and all exactly that is the Seahawks exactly. So that being said, it is time, like I said before, it's time that we're gonna have to move right along to number five. And yes, it's gonna be the last number five of their favorite team, known as the Zombies' favorite last fifth favorite team, would definitely be known to be notified of right now. So, anyways, it is time we hop right on to that and just jump right into that anyway. But remember this, by the way, in the thumbnail, that yes, you guys will only see a check mark by seeing best team versus worst team, which does have an X mark. So for those who do or don't get it, by the way, that's pretty much when it's gonna be happening the second time, by the way. But it's gonna only be the secondary favorite versus the 10th favorite of top 10, by the way, which is gonna be like the same casual as usual. So that's all I can say. And for that information of the news, so let's get right on to the part and join right back in to say is here it is, folks. Here is what you guys have been waiting for of top five of number five. So let's do this in three, two, one, and here we go, folks. Let's go. Here it is. So here it is, the final answer right now. So, top five, as you're seeing on the screen, is here it is. So, that team, by the way, of the Zombies' favorite main fifth favorite team, or yet to be an X, by the way, it is definitely going to be known to be that it will be. That is known to be, of course, and will exactly, of course, to be is the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, why did they choose Cincinnati Bengals, by the way? Well, the reason why they chose it, by the way, was because I think that they kind of like the interesting fear of a cat or just the fear of a tiger, exactly, which is like a very interesting kind of concept way. It's just that, oh, it's just very, very uniquely pretty of an interesting idea choice, is because I think that's what they kind of liked exactly, was just that I just did not really kind of expected to say how interesting that actually was. But in full context, that I think they just like the Cincinnati Bengals, by the way, is because I think they like the wild cat exactly, or just a tiger that was pretty much to be on the screen. So that's probably why they like Cincinnati Bengals. But anyway, that's all I can say exactly, and just recommend saying, because I mean, for me, well, I just don't have any words to kind of say right this point right now, because I kind of feel like, oh, this entire video is going to kind of be wrapped up anyway. So it is going to get wrapped up anyway, and it is going to definitely be the time of saying so, that we might continue doing another continuation next time with pretty much top 10 exactly of the zombies' favorite teams of top 10. So whenever you guys are ready to see it, then yes, the next reveal is going to happen, but it's going to be 5 extra teams appearing to be with 6 all the way near to 10, by the way, of top 6 to 10. So it's going to more likely still be is top 1 all the way to top 10. So it'll still be recommended by that choice, and will be considered regardless to still be chosen to that idea. So that is all I can say, and that's all I can pretty much tell you guys in that answer. So if you guys are ready to see the next one, trust me, the next video will definitely happen with the top 10 favorite teams known as to be the zombies' favorite teams to have definitely considered with top 5 and 10, which will get even more interesting. So if you guys want to see that, then let me know down in the comments below. So that way, that will pretty much be the next one coming right up. So that's all I can tell you guys for that news. But for now, here it is, everybody. That all I can say is, well, let's just get right on to the end of the video, because somehow we're going to kind of wrap up this entire video. But anyway, let's go ahead and do that, and let's go on and do what we usually do and wrap this entire likely up. So anyway, here we go. Alright then, so anyways, like I said, don't worry about the audio exactly, just don't worry about what's going to go on exactly. Is that if you guys, like I said, can still hear us, by the way, well, again, frankly apologize that sometimes the signal bars are pretty shitty, and sometimes the signal bars are going to be pretty stupid in my opinion, which I actually do agree, by the way. So it is going to kind of be like that, and it is always going to kind of be resulting to be that way. So I do technically blame the signal bars exactly, which I definitely do. So, apologies, folks. Apologies. But for now, it is time we end this video, and it's time we end this right now. So, this being said, it is yours truly, the Lord of the Zombies speaking. Ha 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 ha. And like that being said, as always, and pretty much usual as always, that we'll be sure as heck and see you as in fact. Definitely, and I mean considering in fact, definitely see you guys absolutely in the next video. Remember, as always, please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified, so you don't miss a single video that comes onto our 6th channel, known as to be Devin-Foxy's Peaver Z channel. Anyways, we'll see you guys later. We'll see you guys next time, as always, in the next video. Goodbye, take care, and sign off.